And Gelände 2. Looks like I've got everything done with the electronics except for binding my radio, which is going to be done in just a few moments. I got the new Spectrum SR200 WP receiver. Waterproof. Now let's see what I got here. Bind. Come on, where is it? There it is. Bind. Bind. Binding. Bound. Excelente. Okay. Looks good. Unplug. Now, my Gelande 2. This is what I've been working on, my friends. This is more of an update video than a build video in itself because I wanted to save myself a little bit of time. You guys as well, because I know quite a few of you have been watching my show for, you know, many years, and you've seen me put engines in vehicles before. Isn't that a beauty? What you're looking at here is that high-tech waterproof servo that I put in with metal gears. There is that Spectrum receiver that comes waterproof. This is only a 2-channel receiver that I've put in there because the Gelande 2 has a single speed transmission and only a steering servo. So I don't have to worry about multiple channels. If I want lights, I'll just punch it into the bind plug there. So completely waterproof. On the front here, you are seeing the Team Tekin RS Generation 2 ESC. Look at that, very short wires. Actually, I've mounted the ESC very close to the motor. I can hear a lot of you screaming right now, but it's too close, it will overheat. But for the amount of running and the type of trailing I'm going to do with this vehicle, it's not like I'm going to be running this motor at high speeds at all time. Now, a lot of you may not know what this motor is. This is a Tekin Rock 412 crawler motor. You guys know I've been with Tekin for a long time. I've always used their products, and I figured this was a good chance to bust out another Rock 412 crawler motor. Now, what did I actually end up going with? I believe it is the 1800 kV. It is. Features of a Tekin Rock 412, gives you 3S LiPo power, 3S LiPo power, 35 turn speeds with 2S LiPo, 55 turn crawling precision. What does that actually mean? Well, it means you're going to get speed and you're going to get torque out of the same motor, but it's all sensor based brushless power. Right on. You see how I've worked it in there? Now, don't be shy. I know a lot of you are thinking, why did I not just go ahead and use Old Faithful? This here is my Team Tekin FXR and T35 brushed motor combo, okay? Now this is great for rock crawling. It's great for trail crawling because brushed motors can actually go into clean water and not short out. I know a lot of folks don't know that, but you know, depending on the motor, as long as you got somewhat of a quality motor, you can certainly do that. Now, the more dirt and muck and stuff that's in the water that will get in between the brushes and the comb there, you know, that can cause problems. But dun, 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 as long as you waterproof the Tekin ESC, the FXR there, which I have videos on YouTube already on how to waterproof a Tekin FXR, you can go ahead and put in a system like this. In fact, what I've done off camera is put in a quick connect ultra plug connection in case you wanted to swap out your motor quick. Okay, now, why did I go ahead and use a non-waterproof brushless motor up here? Well, again, I wanted to showcase and still have the torque, but this RS Gen 2, this is what I have here, okay? I did open the one up that's right here. I opened up the 4 screws on the back, I took out the plate, I used a bit of Plastidip and some silicone, and I still left the back posts exposed to let the heat escape. So this is basically splash proof or, you know, waterproof. I could always say waterproof, but I don't like showing people how to waterproof their brushless motors simply because you know, it's been hit and miss for me as well. And these things are expensive, right? I don't want you to go out and me show you something and maybe do it wrong and then ruin like a whole combo that cost you a couple $100 and some hours in work, hey? That's no fun. So I would rather just have this, what I would call swappable. This whole piece, because I've mounted it together like this, I can undo the bolts for the motor and this whole ESC and motor combo pop out as one piece. If I wanted to be on the trails, if I wanted to go out and do anything with water, all I have to do is pop in this ESC and motor combo, screw it into place, and away I go. Like I said, I'd have to waterproof the ESC first. But, so now you kind of see what I wanted to do with this electronics setup. Why didn't I run all of this to the back of the vehicle back here? Well, I figured, why put the wires in the way? If this is swappable, if this Spectrum receiver is swappable and I can, you know, change out my steering servo and everything really quick, why not just have it on a Velcro system? Does it fit with the Gelände II body? This body right here. Now the stock body itself, I had to be aware that the front, the capacitor here that normally comes with an RS or any kind of ESC was actually not put in front, because a lot of times I'll hang it down in front, but that would have been in the way of the bumper. Also, you'll see I have some open posts here. I will be covering this with Plastidip, which is a liquidized rubber that seals up any kind of exposed fittings. But I wanted you guys to see that at least, that the soldering was done and everything. Come on, focus in, guys. There we go. That the soldering is done and it's all solid. Okay? Believe me. The camera doesn't show it very good, but it is done and done well. So, does it fit? Dun, dun, dun. It sure does. I made sure that it fits within 1 millimeter. Perfect. This is the way the whole truck sits by itself. And here's the front bumper. Lines up quite well, actually. So on either side, does it make sure to fit with the side where the mounting screws go? You bet it does. So I don't mind having a swappable front engine area. I can always move this around if I want, but now I'm going to have the battery here, a little bit of weight on the front, so when I'm crawling up, we're going to have some weight at the front. I don't have to worry about too much weight being in the back. I got a carry container now. Okay, so what kind of battery would I be running with this? My friends down at Gens Ace, everybody knows I use these batteries now, sent me a special edition. Dun, dun, dun. Check this out. Gold edition. These aren't available to everybody yet. I'm not sure if they're going to be, but I've picked up a 7,000 milliamp hour battery. Simply, look at that. 7,000 milliamps, super, super slender battery, hey? Not bad. I'll have to adjust the ends on this. Probably have to put it like this. Put a little connector on there. Not too bad. Everything is still fitting properly. We might as well do that right now, hey? Swap over the batteries for you guys, or at least show you how I'd do the soldering. Here's a pretty good, whoa, oh my god, there's an alarm. I know, thanks for the battery warning. Here's a pretty good soldering iron I picked up at PM Hobbycraft, my local hobby store in the Calgary area. Digital, check that out, it's heating itself up right now, going up to 720 degrees, nice, fast, heated gun. Make sure I have a little bit of solder out here on the old workbench and some flux. Now I'm going to leave these on. I've got my balance plug, right? This is the balance plug, and of course the two main posts. I want to switch it over to an ultra plug. Let me see here. Bum, 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 bum. I buy my ultra plug connectors in bulk. I get them off of eBay of all places. Don't know if they'll sell them forever, but I'm sure you can find some there. Let's do a quick, see, already up to 720. I'll do a quick little soldering job on the ultra plug. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and snip off the ends of this lead. 1 and 2. Do I have a sharp blade? You bet I do. standing by. Make sure to just get a little bit of the protective shroud off of the wire. I don't expose too much of the wire, hey? I don't find there's really a reason to do that. Just leaves you with too much exposed area where you can get a short. So we'll also do the same thing on the other side. So now you can see just very little area that I've cut off of the wire. This is for people that have never soldered before. Hopefully this will help a little. Put a little bit of flux on the wire. The flux, when it melts, is actually going to kind of soak into the wire itself, drawing the solder in with it. And just kind of clean off. Do I have a paper towel around here? I do. Kind of clean off any extra. Flux, when it gets hot, tends to spit a little bit. You can hear it sizzle on there. Everything is getting drawn right in to the wire. Like so. Okay. I'm going to do both sides. Perfect. Now this is going to help the two pieces stick together. Okay, so this is going to be the end that I want it to stick to. Let's see if I can find some heat shrink quickly here. Here's one. And slide the heat shrink tube over the wire. That's this little black piece right here. When that wire or when that tubing is exposed to heat, it'll actually shrink and kind of cover up this open connection here. Come on, experienced soldering hand, don't fail me now. Okay, getting that together. A little bit more solder. Sorry guys, I wish I could get up close here for you, but it's just the angle of the camera. And we'll use a Bic lighter to kind of shrink it down. Kaboo! Just like that. So now the connection is protected and solid. And the time to use your 2 Velcro straps that come in the kit, if you're building along with me, has come. We're going to slide this one in with all the fuzzy sticking out. Come on, that's what she said if I've ever heard one. Okay, there we go. Nicely done. So we'll just tie this down. I figured a gold pack for a kit like this would be totally on the menu. I ordered this up specifically for this build. Glad I got one. Battery can be all plugged in now. Make sure you line up your positive and negatives. Positive, negative. There we are. Looking nice. Now I'm actually going to wrap. What am I going to do here? Do I want to zip tie that? I think I will. Do I have enough room? Too short. Let's see what I can do about that. Dum-dum. That's going to be me. If I unclipped it, it would be just long enough. All right. No problem. I can do that. Let's see this one and this one. Thank you. Is it long enough? It certainly is. Perfect. And I'll just use a little zip tie. Do I have one standing by? All right, one zip tie. Just do the bottom of the wires. That's fine, because I don't mind leaving the balanced plug in there all the time, especially for charging. There we go. And we might as well do one right up near the top. I like to keep my wires as clean as possible. Less things to get tangled on the rocks if you're out doing any kind of four-wheeling with your trucks. And there we are. Beauty. Okay, now I can flip this around. Everything is plugged in so far, but I'm going to make sure everything's unplugged because I want to make sure the on-off button is working properly and I have everything hooked up. So steering is simple enough. Just plug it right into the steering. Make sure all the wires line up. There's number one. Here comes the throttle, which would be the top one. Like so. Now, I have to figure out where to situate the on-off switch. Right, let me see here. If I actually got this out of the way And we clipped this together. Ah, zip ties, my very good friend in RC. So I'll just kind of wrap these up. I could put this in some sort of like, you know, I always put it in some sort of plastic shroud or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm even going to in this one. There's no need. Everything's pretty compact. The only thing I'm looking at is the on and off switch, and where am I going to put it? Pretty much right where I would any day, under the wheel well. Easy on off area. Oh darn, the only thing I want to do is run it through the shock tower. Let's try this one instead. Right under here. Have this done. Because that way I know right above the shock I can turn it on and off. Now, I have advised before that you can actually just have it 100% on all the time if you just cut these wires and twist them together. But at the same time, I like the ability to be able to shut the vehicle off if I'm testing other things like lights or, you know, what have you. It doesn't matter. There we go. An on-off switch is always nice to have. See if this still fits. It does. So there. So now we have everything plugged in. Everything should work. Now, I love saying that, especially while I'm on camera and I haven't tested anything. But, dun 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 dun, shall we turn it on and see if it takes off on me? Okay, sweet. So it looks like I have a little bit of steering trim issue I can work out right now. What I need to do with that is get myself a screwdriver. Is this one going to fit? It won't. Let me see what I have here. Now, before I calibrate anything, I'm not going to do anything until I get the steering horn removed and I make sure all the trims are set to 0 on my remote control, radio control, remote control, whatever you'd like to call it. There we go. Make sure everything is zeroed out. The ESC is flashing because I haven't calibrated it yet. See? There you go. Full steering throw. Full steering throw. I haven't even checked my endpoints yet, so I want to be careful. But for those here, I'm just trying to get a good view. For those of you asking if it was going to hit, it does not. Not at all. So there you go. Now, calibration of the ESC. I can actually just turn it off. I will hold in the mode button on the RS Gen 2, turn it back on. It's going to enter into calibration mode. Leave it in neutral, full forward, and then full backward. Well, with everything in place, I made sure all the wires are correct, and I calibrated the front RS Gen 2 ESC. Now, why did I do that? So I could have immediate throttle and immediate reverse. I changed the motor type to brushless. You have to do that when you're doing this kind of calibration. Check it out. Okay, ready to go? Not too bad. Ah, it's alive. Don't those rims look good? You can see right through them. So all stock, my friends. Forward, reverse. Now, I'm going to break in this motor slowly. You don't really need to break in electric motors these days, but I'm going to let the bearings go in. I'm going to learn about the flashing lights and to see if this front is normal. But in a nutshell, there you go. The electronics are done, and I'm ready to get on to my favorite part. Time to start painting and getting the ultimate look of the Gelände 2 from RC4 Wheel Drive in the RCSparks studio. Let's see how it looks.